It reminds me of the Sonic ball.
This is my home base. Is just being around. This again is one of those basic movements that you can't do enough. Like I can tell you, like if I've taken like a month or two off training because I got hurt or something, and then I come back, I'm like, why can't I roll anymore? Like you will forget. So it's good to do these basic things so that you don't get hurt when you're going live.
It's funny you say this because I somehow forgot to roll on the other side. I can only roll on one side.
Well, you should work the other side.
Yeah, I'm going to right now as I make a left turn here when I try to do it. So,
because sometimes you give yourself a little more oomph there.
No, it's. How explain?
Oh, I thought you got stuck.
No, I was trying to remember which side I go to naturally.
Oh, okay.
So I just wanted to see. So if I roll, so no, I forgot. Why don't you go behind me?
You alright? Oh, did you get up the cramp?
We rolled with Dave this morning. It's a residual effect.
Getting like an abdominal cramp is the worst because you're like, oh, I can't breathe now.
That's a big cramp for me.
Ooh.
Ooh.
That was gorgeous.
You did both sides yet?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Better than me.
Get to it, man. Get to it. Alright, good. Alright, back to our basic movements again. We're going to work our bridging. Where I always messed this up when I was new to jiu-jitsu was I didn't understand that I should be driving through my heels and pushing up with my hips. I feel like I see a lot of people do like they're pushing with their back, and you see how high up I am, it's nothing. Drive through your legs, go up over your shoulders, see how far you can move. This is how you're actually going to disrupt somebody and roll if you need to. So it's about your legs, your back is just supporting you. You're not driving with your spine. So it's all hips and then back down. Side to side at your own pace. If you want to add in a roll, you can. What matters to me is that you're getting full height and that you're getting power by driving through your hips. The closer you bring your feet to your hips, normally the more height and power you can get. That was good though. That was height. There you go. Yes.
No. What'd you see me?
Rika doesn't want to be near you.
I ate all the cream and chicken today. We'll get done.
So don't want to get breathing?
No. Better. I went out with Korean chicken today. Korean fried chicken's the best. It is.
Good job. All right, last little basic movement we're going to do is our triangle drills. There are a lot of ways to enter a triangle, but one of the things that is going to benefit you is if you have the ability to shoot your hips up. So when we do this triangle drill, you're not just bouncing your legs around. I want you to think about if you're actually trying to capture on somebody's neck and shoulder, you need to use your core and extend your hips up because you need the ability to kick your hips like this if you're going to try to do a quick catch. So if you have low back sensitivities, you can bring your hands under your low back to give yourself some support if you need. But if you don't need it, try it without because you're going to get your body more used to having to kip up and capture like that. So let's try on again on your own, at your own pace. Yes, sir?
Just up and down. Don't worry about rotating.
Nope, yep, just up and down. You're just catching.
Gotcha.
Good. What you're doing here is only doing is a reverse crunch. Think like you're going to hit up. Yes. Because if someone is above you and you want to catch their head, yeah. But you don't want to go toward your own face. You want to just like snap. Yeah. There you go. 'Cause you're catching someone with it. keeps you shredded. Alright guys, let's work on some stuff. Never
That would never happen.
So, we mentioned triangles first, and that's the thing that I'm gonna start with. Because I think the triangle was one of like my most hated techniques when I was a white belt. I was like, I'm too small and they're stupid. But like being like smaller is actually why I like these now, because having shorter legs for me makes them tighter. I just didn't understand angles. So the first thing that I want to think about with a triangle is not trying to rush it on the catch. It is going to be almost impossible to like shoot up a triangle and land foot under knee right angle. Like that almost never happens unless you're like rolling with a little kid. What matters is capturing it and then tightening it up as you go. So we're just gonna do like a real basic setup drill. It goes into what we were doing before. You're gonna control your partner's arms. If they have to eat, you can use the sleeves if you want, either or. But what you're gonna do is you're gonna pull one arm out and punch one arm in. And this seems like a goofy thing that wouldn't work. You can totally trick people into this when you're hand fighting and they go, bah! And all you need is to just get this close. Once you have one arm out and one arm in, that's when you're gonna open your guard and catch. And then you're just gonna let go of that arm, you don't need it anymore. That's why we need the ability to lift the hip. Since I caught it, now my job is break his posture. If his arm is already across, awesome. If he hit it over here, I know that's gonna give me a problem later. So I like to bridge back up again to get rid of this crease and make it easier to move it. Either way though, it's gonna live in my pocket. Again, I just have my guard locked. I'm not even worried about a triangle right now. It's just posture. Now I want to keep this here. So this hand's gonna just touch my knee. This keeps my knee facing the ceiling because I don't want to shrimp. I want to just turn. If I shrimp onto my side, it's gonna help him and we can't have that. Everything that made me love triangles is now my free hand can grab my shin. And since I can grab my shin, I can open. If I'm not holding my shin, I cannot do this. He's gone. He's gonna feel it. So if you end up needing to like adjust and put, like you don't open this chain, either ankle or arm. Those are your options. Do not open. So I'm gonna grab here. I tend to put my foot on like the hip of my partner. But if I'm able to create more space, you can go to the mat. This just tends to be tighter for me for how I'm shaped. Everyone's different, do what works for you. But I wanna pivot and scoot away. So I didn't just turn, I turned and I lengthened his neck. And the more perpendicular I can be, the better. So when I bring my other knee over, I should not see his shoulder, and I'm gonna pinch my knees together and just squeeze. So I'm squeezing like I wanna do that. I want my knees to touch. I see a lot of people, they'll squeeze and like arch up and do stuff like that. It actually loosens it. So if you have your angle right and you pinch your knees together, you shouldn't need to grab the head. You shouldn't need to overexert yourself. It's super gentle. So I know that was like a whole bunch of explanation, but the little stuff is what makes it work. And it's also what makes it so you can do it at your pace and you're not like having to rush against someone who's strong and fast. So again, I'm gonna get my grips. I've mirrored grips, so if we're in here grip fighting, I can kind of walk him into where he's reacting to me. And then when I'm ready, I give a push and a pull. I want this to touch his belly. And I'm gonna open my guard and hop and close. And then I'm just gonna let go of that because now I don't need it. If we're already in this position, beautiful, I'll catch it. Because now I got it here. I want his shoulder and his bicep touching his neck and my thigh touching the other side of the neck. And then I'm gonna break his posture, grab my shin. Now I can open, pivot, and turn. Knee stays straight up. Now I only see his head, squeeze my knees together. And they should want to tap immediately because there's just a lot of pressure. So it's like the difference of pivoting like this and shrimping out. When you shrimp out, you get past, right? Do not shrimp.
Increases.
Yes, just pivot. Any questions? Anyone who can see that again?
One question.
Yes.
So which shoulder of Keegan's are we hiding? The one that we are holding on to?
So think about it this way whenever you're attacking a triangle. because I want you to think functionally.
Okay.
Because this arm is in
Yeah.
and this arm is out, that shoulder doesn't even exist to me. There's only one shoulder to play with, right? And if I can see it, like if I'm trying to finish my triangle here, he can breathe all day.
Okay.
So once I bring this over, if I can still see it, I don't like it. I want to go gone, no shoulder.
Okay. Thank you.
There are exceptions where you can cheat it. We talked about it. We'll talk about that later. But I want you to always be aiming for this. If you can aim for this and finish a triangle like this, you're going to have a way better time.
Okay.
Any questions?
Just a comment, just for understanding.
Yes.
So if this arm pulls out, push that away,
Mhm.
then that means your rep will go this way.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And again, try to think of it less of like, okay, this arm, this like this. I want you to think functionally. Once you do it a few times, you'll see there's actually only one way to go that makes sense. Because if you get stuck going the other way. Because if you try to memorize like, okay, my left hand and then my right foot,
Yeah.
it takes too long for your brain to do that.
Yeah.
It will not work live.
What if
You actually need to like an angle, so my arm is this way.
Yeah, that's a really good way to put that. Yeah, it's like you're telling me which way to go.
Right.
That's such a good way to think about that. Yeah, so it just becomes like, oh, that's where I go, because that's the only way to work that fast. That's so good. I'm gonna steal that.
No, actually,
Let's just
I'll
keep
see it.
Yeah. All right, guys. Grab a partner kind of around your same size. I think we might have a group of 3. You can kind of work that out however works for us best. Yeah, we can do that actually. We could do team girls and team boys if we wanted to. Yeah. Whatever you guys want to know.
No, like, we can do this, but you can work it more.
Like middle school dance. What do we do?
I'll sit up against the wall.
I'm just holding everyone's back. So don't worry.
You're the chaperone.
Oh, I'm always holding drinks.
How dare you, sir?
Always holding things. 'Cause I'm awkward and nervous.
Don't you have to grab your shin before you pivot? When someone's
I do,
Yeah.
but when Avery,
It's
I don't usually have to try it.
Here, keep the knee pointed up. So when you turn,
What I learned.
your knee went down. You just pivot.
So,
My grip needs issues.
Yeah, so think of it less like shrimping and more like
Try, then
here. You wanna try it on me?
so. Okay. Now get this out of your way. Make sure your knees strong. Squeeze really well. Don't. So Charlie being bigger than us. I know, right? This is where sometimes those changing the rules come in. So I can twist on your shoulders just because yeah. But because of this size, he is also taking on that space too. So now if I cheat it, when I pinch my knees together, it's still size. Sometimes if someone is like a huge Hulk monster, you can also just finish it with the yeah, you can finish there. Yeah, I always start there because there I got me, and then I'll tighten it up. But if someone is like the Incredible Hulk, I just see if I can finish it there because their own mass creates it. Yeah, their own mass creates it. So that's what then you kind of have to flip things into their size. But those are extremes. Here. Wait a minute. Back up. One more. Cherry on top. Just touching and bring this in here. It's so frustrating.
I like the touching you.
It just keeps it up in here. Right, yeah, make sure this doesn't fall down. This is one of the few times I don't want you to go on your side. I want you to stay on your shoulders.
Oh.
It's very counterintuitive to everything else you do. Yeah.
Here.
Picture this. Yeah.
Do you like to add the flare or no flare?
Flare.
You know, when we do the legs.
Here.
See, I can't do that.
That's not something I've really employed myself. Do it.
There's
I've always thought of it as like a knee pinch. Well, I guess if you're pinching the knee, you are flaring. I think I'm just thinking of it differently.
Oh, the PT, you're flaring out.
Yeah. Cause I'm thinking about pinching my knees together, which does make me split. So I am doing it.
Yeah.
Yay. I was like, do I do that?
I was taking notes.
Yeah, I always think of it as like, I wanna bring my knees together, because that's how I get the pressure.
Yep.
I did.
So you can see where we're all saying the same thing.
We are, and I'm like learning the two
But have
ways.
you done this? Oh, it's the same thing.
So you can grab your chin, there you go. Now
When I
let's
punch,
keep
I automatically come
Yep,
up
and lift your
There you
hips.
go.
You gotta like grab it. You're gonna punch.
Yeah.
Yes.
here. See, I feel like naturally I go this way, I should be this way, no?
No, don't
It's just
overthink it.
pinching
No,
that
love it. Cause you just need control of her posture. And now that you've got her, bring the arm over, collect the arm,
Touch my knee.
and now you're in a position where you can start to fix this, where it's gonna be really hard for her to pass. Good.
Here.
Yes, good.
Oh,
And I always think of the sleeves.
Like I'm doing a crunch. Don't think like you want to arch. Again, it's one of those things that is natural here, but it will actually help them try to get their arm. So like I come in.
And I'm like, I know I need to tighten it, it still is tight, but I was doing it with Charlie.
Everybody does it because it feels like you should.
Yeah,
And
and as
it's,
soon as
yeah.
I fixed it the other day and crunched in and.
What'd she fix?
Where it feels natural to like arch when you do
Yeah.
this, but what you wanna do is hit in.
We had similar mistakes, so I was
Yeah.
curious what you thought.
It's so funny on this movement, what you feel like you wanna do is not what you wanna do.
Is it dirty? Pull the head down?
No.
Depends who you ask. In some places, it is, like in some tournaments, it is illegal because of the irritation that you can put on the back of the neck. The way that I look at it is like, I'm not gonna consider it dirty, but I do consider it a mark of portent. Because of my triangle. Yeah, because I'm like, if I had to do that, my triangle wasn't good. And so like, as a martial artist, it bothers me. You know? It's like, I don't wanna get it that way. I wanna do it right. And I'd rather like, go to something else that's technically sound. But you know, it's like,
So,
if you're bigger than me, like, you can crush my throat, but it's like,
we'll
that's
shoot
like,
and
it's you, or you can just do it.
crank back down. Boom.
Yeah.
There you go. Now push up my hip. Because you want to fix that. Just take your foot on my hip. Take that foot. Push that.
I can't use your activity. No, not because of that. I can't bend
Yeah,
it.
he has to
Oh,
do it.
okay.
I have to use the floor.
Yeah.
He's got
I
different.
mean, I know she says it's the
Okay.
Yeah.
keep bending. That's why I was like.
We done? You want to run something else?
I'm just watching it.
That's a good pivot. Woo. Tight.
I think I need to do
Got
that.
it. Hang on, go back, don't push her away, pull her in when you squeeze. Pull her to you when you squeeze. Knees to your face. And squeeze. Pinch your knees together. Yeah, so
Yeah.
as you pinch your knees
No
together,
problem, stop.
pull yourself in like this.
But I think of this, I think of Nick Diaz when he got that.
and okay, here, come here, Rika. So we show this one.
Because, and it might not happen, but if I start doing this when I'm trying to finish this, it actually puts Rika in a position where she can start to relieve pressure and start to stack them, versus when I keep her low,
He's got
I
like
keep her pressure broken and I can.
I thought I like had more of your shoulder than I
No,
did.
you're fine. Are you having them keep that arm over? Just holding the arm over?
If you can, that's always an A plus. Because you have the secondary attack there.
Okay,
We'll brush on that for method of madness.
gotcha.
If I cheat and grab my arm deep, then I can
If
grab
you're
it.
in the gi, do it.
Well, I seem to be at more of a 45 with my, what is that shade called?
Like when you just like on the initial lock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's a bad, poor technique or if it's,
Well, we are gonna have to sometimes modify things for your body. one arm in, one arm out, pop my hips up, break the posture, hold my knee. I'm like pushing my knee into his face because I don't want my knee to go like this when I move. So see how my knee is like, because it's actually applying pressure to him when I move in this direction. I really, really want this to stay up because he's gonna try to pressure pass. So let's say like I'm gonna leave his shoulder in there so he can breathe. Let's say like I'm doing everything as best I can and it's just like not working for whatever reason. Because I'm right here, if you can't see my arm come around, I have him set up for a straight arm bar.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So it's already straight, so I'm gonna go really gentle with it because there's only so far it can go. But I'm just gonna pull my elbow down and now I will bridge my hips up. And if you're like, I need a little bit more oomph for this because it's not working, you sneak your arm under their leg and then you push your whole shoulder down and bridge your hips up. And you do that really slow because it's already straight, so you don't want to pop it. But yeah, sometimes you can just get it just from pulling the elbow back.
Yeah.
But if you're like, is a strong guy, I really need to, you can come right underneath that leg. So you have two attacks right there. You don't need to focus on that right now, but I want you to see the benefit of keeping that arm trapped like that because if your triangle fails, you're still ready to go. Let's get a few more reps in on that and then I'll get something else.
Okay.
I've been gone so long. You've been indoctrinated. Dude, it was so funny when that like became a thing because it like slowly happened at Oviedo in a way that none of us were ready. And so it like happened sometimes, but not all the time.
Oh,
and then,
clap?
yeah, and so we would just make it and we're like, we're always gonna do it. And we would like freak each other out. And we'd be like, are we doing it today? Are we not doing it today? What side are we on?
I'm always like,
And there was like
Yeah.
4 of us and trying to.
It just becomes so
Hey,
like.
Sammy.
Yes, sir.
Where's the fulcrum here?
Alright, so you're gonna be right here.
You're going here.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna string it.
Yeah, so you're just pulling that down and bridging up. Yeah, and then if you need more oomph because he's moving, you snake your arm underneath his leg, but I don't think he's done.
Hold on.
It's like no, there it is.
Those straight arm bars
You
are
have your
like.
hand the other way down, you have it down.
Yeah, we're down.
Yeah.
Make sure yours comes up.
Make sure you do it up so you definitely get arm bar.
Everything's starting to change.
Your
And
dad
then
arm bar
you're gonna grab
first,
your
sir.
shin, you're gonna set up that triangle. So you came over this way, but now for whatever reason, let's say the triangle's not working. So since you were already here, I want you to
Yeah, I can see it from right here.
slowly bridge your hips up.
I was gonna say that.
You don't have to go
Well,
far.
it's anytime you
Your
got
arm
this
is
belly
forward,
crease.
so you're pushing down and you're pushing up with your hip.
I've got
So
a
that
massive
basic
fulcrum.
arm bar that we do where you're just like pushing and bridging up, that exists all over the place. We just changed
He's
it.
just a good target. It's that hop up right there. That is probably the most tail.
Yeah, and see, that's one of those things though that I don't want to make a rule like that because it's going to be different for different people.
Remember
And that's
to
like
do that.
sometimes you gotta kind of
Is a bit
finagle
of
it
a
too. Like if you're
challenge.
turning your arm funny, you want to get used to like an arm bar isn't just here push down. An arm bar is where's this, lock this in, push the opposite direction. So if we, which I know I'm like saying way too much today, but if we start thinking functionally early, because I feel like my first 2 years of training, like I wasn't thinking functionally. I was just like my left foot goes here, and it slowed me down
He grabs his ankle really
because
easy.
I wasn't understanding why. And then I had an instructor like be like, why are you doing that? And I was like, I don't know. And he was like, then don't do it. Like you need reasons. And I was like, oh, concepts. So yeah, like so I don't expect all of this to be memorized, but if you just start trying to be like, well, why am I doing it, but why does it work? You'll slowly start to absorb that as your technique. Instead of what I did is I had to then go back and like relearn it because I just wasn't getting it.
Because whenever you go like this, I can feel your elbows. You have the ability, you have the ability to move all the way back.
Well, and that is what I like also about having a circular curriculum.
Oh, today.
Because sometimes you need to see
I
something.
got lots of velocity.
Sometimes
arm guard. It's like easy, and it's so hard to do when someone's good at jiu-jitsu. Because they know exactly what you're doing, right? So what has worked for me and what I observed in competition, like I would try to walk around and see what the people were winning and how they were doing it, and I just saw this so much consistently, and I love it, is the way that we teach it, where we're like, that's good for like teaching you where you need to be, but like it's not gonna work that way. For me, what's gonna work if I want an arm bar is I need to look at breaking posture and then crawling. So similar to how we looked for that triangle, and if I'm in a position where I can kip up, great, same thing. But my goal, however I do it, is I want to break posture and I want to get a knee over the shoulder. If I can get a person here, I'm like, now there's actually a possibility of an arm bar happening. Versus like the standard way that we learn how to do it that is super hard when someone knows jiu-jitsu. So however we do it, even if like, let's say like we're playing this game and keep like things on to try to triangle and I'm like, no, I just want it right here. Just this is all I want. Because if I can get on that shoulder, now I have posture control, but more importantly almost is I'm like, just to skip over here. Because it's crossing the head is like no man's land, it's so hard. So if I've got this here and I've got this here, now it is such a small step for me to come over. I'm not having to do all this like craziness with my legs. I just had to get over his shoulder first. Now that we're here, this is again, we're gonna come back to what you talked about, turning the hip out. If I'm like this, he's gonna laugh at me. Like there's no pressure on him at all. So I want to turn both feet towards his head. And I want to point my heels. When you point your heels, you can do a stronger hamstring contraction. Science. Don't do this, do this. Because now, like try to sit up Keaton. I am not stronger than Keaton by any means, but I can hamstring curl him by being on the back of his head.
I think you got his head stronger back this
So this is how you're going to keep that position, which is then going to make your finish that much simpler. We pinch the knees, pull the wrist down, bridge up. And again, why does the arm bar work? I've isolated, because it's awesome. I've isolated this, and I'm just pulling this past the point where it doesn't want to go anymore. So that's where sometimes we have to make up arm bars because we end up in weird places. Anytime I can isolate this and keep on extending this, an arm bar lives there. So like sometimes we gotta kind of break how we've been taught, where it's like I have to be like that. So if I'm here working on breaking posture, whatever, all I want to do when I'm ready is get over that shoulder. I'm so happy now that I'm here. So now I can start to move him. Start to isolate this arm here. I really like to like hug my shoulder. If I have a gi, I'll grab my gi. Because again, now it's my whole body instead of just my arm versus his arm when he's stronger than me. Now it's a very small step to come over. I was already in position. If I need a little bit more straightening out, I can just scoot, like so. Feet up, feet pointed towards his head. And I'm just gonna pull in the opposite direction of his elbow as I bridge up. Can I borrow Eureka? Sure.
You did so subtly, I didn't see how you got the.
So instead of going for like the full triangle, all I wanted to do was get over that shoulder. Yeah, because I'm like, great. I can play that. Yeah, I can look for this. I can be like, what are you doing over here? You know, stuff. Sorry, let me just stop it. Yeah, it's great. I'm like, perfect. So now that I'm here, I can, and it's like she knows she's screwed, but her posture's broken. So I'm just gonna be friendly and guide her head out of my way so I don't kick her because I'm clumsy. Come over, and when I start to turn my feet like this is when I can adjust me if I need to adjust me. But this tiny little movement will take you from getting stack pass to they can't sit up. Toes active, hamstring curl towards the head, and then your arm bar is right there. So, and I do it too. I've seen pictures of me rolling where like my feet are like this, and I'm like, Sam, where were you? Like you just weren't thinking. This needs to be engaged if you want a strong clamp on the head. Any questions anyone need to see that again? Okay, go with it. Alright, 1, 2, 3.
said, did anyone show? I'm gonna send you a video.
You wanna go? I'm gonna go after. Yeah, you gotta get.
Wait, you go. Oh, training bar.
So we're gonna do like we did before.
So you're breaking the posture, so say it
Right here.
Are you sticking the side over here?
So I still kind of need to make an angle because I need to like hop over that shoulder. So to get that realistic is gonna be real hard, you know, right? But yeah, I'm just looking for that and then leverage. Yeah, because it's my half step.
Was that a diving board or is that?
Yeah, sure.
Like modified diving board? I don't know, I'm just.
I've never named the position for myself. For me, I just consider it my half step because I know where I want to be, but I have to break it down first. And now when you're ready, over my hand to help you clear his head, step over, and you turn. No other more step slowly. Yeah.
Right.
Good here.
Too strong. Well, no, it's just different enough to.
Yeah, right, yeah, because it's something you know how to do very well, but now we make it a little different.
Easier.
Yeah.
Because I think it's way, because I totally.
Yeah.
Same thing.
I guess I don't think it's I would posture in a spot where I typical ring here. That's how I usually set this.
And if that's working for you, absolutely. That is very similar to how I was first taught. The reason that I like the little prop is most people don't let me go that far because it's telegraphed, right? You know, a lot of times, like if I get anything close to that, it's because I sit on a college show, and then when they were done for the college show, I switched it. Because if I do that to you, you're like, that's too much. I know what you want. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, because now you're hiding it in a double attack. Right? Like, you were good here, but I want your feet up, like you're stretching your calves. Yeah. Yep.
It's our turn. She's ours.
Active toes, toes up. Try to think of like a way to say it that makes sense. Dorsiflexion.
I'm trying to get sure. I'm trying to get your vocab, but
Yeah.
I think the most one she says, jujitsu.
Yeah, and that can mean a lot of things, right? Yeah. Not ballet feet.
Yeah. Active.
Dorsiflexion.
Because what it puts you in a position for active insufficiency because you're stretching your calf at one joint so you can create more force at another.
I was really excited when I learned about that.
It's kind of a triangle.
Right.
So I'm thinking about going in the opposite direction. Because I've drilled in my head so many times, like, I gotta get that pivot. And now I'm bringing the leg over. It just confuses me. No, you can find
Or no, passive insufficiency. Like active insufficiency. But it's passive
It's her work.
So. If you stretch it at one joint, you can create more force contracting at the other. So if you want the strongest hamstring in your body, you need to stretch your calf at this joint, and then.
But because I was there before, I want to go
Like if you
this
go
way
and
instead
go
of
on
behind.
your curl machine, do this.
So it just
Your hamstring curl, and then
confuses me because we've all been taught. Remember our starts
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
pressure down.
if you're putting this, it's the same reason why you're gonna get stronger here when you lay straight.
Brain's not thinking that.
So my
Makes sense?
hamstring is
He's
lengthened.
like, no, that's all I was doing.
So my production is really good. But when I started, people were like, I need the hamstring curl machine because it's not functional. And we were in lab, and I grabbed my lab partner and I unguarded him, and he went, okay, you can use the hamstring curl machine. I was like, it's so functional.
But that hamstring curl thing,
That's why we gotta do an armbar like that.
Because I had no, he's a bigger guy. He's not moving. He's a bigger guy, because I mean, I can't close it.
Oh, you know what? Sorry,
Sorry, I didn't do that.
I was still trying. That's what it is.
It's the only time I let someone put their head hurt. It's good if I can't pass anything they're doing, I'm just like, Fat pass with a fat guy is the worst thing in the world. I had to do a double arm bar.
Yeah, that's right.
I knew you get to the angle.
Oh, right now.
His arm was like right there, and I was like, I'm not thinking.
Like it's very fast.
So I had like, once you get the muscle moving, you want to try it. Well, it's all forward until I bring my leg over the head. I'm like, holy crap!
It was an all women's tournament, and I was walking around and I was looking at what all the high level women were doing. They were all finishing with that, and I was like, what the fuck am I doing?
You gotta really, if you want to try, you really have to overdose it.
Yeah.
The arm movement and just roll up. It was like 2 movements. The problem is, you gotta hit the angle and get your, you have to turn on your side.
I'm not
To hit the angle, and that's the And then Dave showed this horrible ankle thing. He's like, he went gunslinging around the ankle lock.
Yes.
He's like, don't do this. Here. And it's like 16,000 times the pressure. So glad I wasn't the UK. This is a nice tweak, by the way. Oh my God. You're not gonna roll, Carlos.
Oh, yes, I will. Believe me, I will. This one's got stopped.
See, I'm not gonna roll. You win. What was the drill we were doing where he's like, duck your head, and I forgot to duck my head and completely ate my face? It's some Kimura drill. He's like, you gotta duck your head and roll. And I forgot to, and I'm like, oh.
Okay, the last thing I want to look at, this is getting like a little less structured, but is what changed my defense. So I talk about this a lot, right? With if I can control my torso, I'm safe, right? So like, come sit behind me, Keaton. So like, if Keaton is trying to like backpack me, if I'm starting here, he can't get any kind of good control until he breaks this open and either gets a handle under here or gets a hook in through here. So even if we're sitting here and we're playing like this, I'm still fine right now, as long as strikes are we're talking jiu-jitsu sports, right? But if we're talking jiu-jitsu sports, for him to do any damage to me, he needs to open up this area. So if things have already gone awry and he has all the controls that he wants, instead of like freaking out about where I am because this is so bad, just reverse engineer. You're just like, I just need to take off the things are bad. So again, instead of having to remember 100,000 steps, what is my like path of least resistance? It's gonna be one of 2 things when I find myself in a situation. It's gonna be if I kick out a hook, because now I can start to pivot from that point, or if his hooks are really, really stubborn, where my shoulders free. So like I kind of look at those 2 things. So just to focus in on one, going to our basic. I'm going through puberty. Nice to meet you. So much better than it was like 3 days ago. I'm so mad. So my main opening right now is my shoulder. So if we're starting neutral, I can shoot for it. If we're starting anywhere else, I gotta work for it. But again, just to narrow things, if I'm here, I can give myself a little rock forward like we did for that backward roll drill. My goal there is to create some space between us so that he's not glued to my back. I'm always respecting this grip. If I don't respect this grip, the match is over. And if I can bring myself to the mat and drop my shoulder and my head, we are in business now. Because I need to scrape him off of me. So I'm not really overthinking what I'm doing. I'm feeling where the grips are getting loose, and I'm gonna just follow that. I'm gonna get rid of that hook if I can step over here, and I wanna feel that I am literally scraping him off of my back as I move out, and then I can bring back up. Because what I see all the time is people trying to like turn out of it. I can't pivot from this position. If he has gotten both hooks in and a seat hooker, he's taken away my ability to like pivot and turn effectively. That's the whole problem. So I need to scrape off. So we're starting from the worst case scenario, but we're just always thinking of I need to remove the handles so that I have as much of me back as I can.
keep going this way, I always put my hand here because he might let go and try to mount. And if I at least do this, I can stiff arm him and like really try to keep this hook in. Yeah, so even if he's trying to fight with this hook, now I can leg fight by flipping my hip like that and step over. And you see, I'm not getting greedy and trying to like turn and go anywhere yet. I'm still leaving. I need to scrape him off of me. Now I can start turning back. But not until I'm out. I see people all the time get like halfway there and they're like, oh, and they try to turn around and it's just a mess. Not until you're done.
So you wait till you're kind of at 90 degrees before you.
Yeah, because I feel that he has no control points, even if he still has like that. Once I've moved both hooks and I've slid out that way, he has nothing. He's gonna be bearing my weight as I'm on his chest. So that's his
you have
problem.
control as. Okay.
So I need to be out of the hooks.
Hooks are bad.
Hooks are bad. That's not yours.
Do that one time.
But no.
Because I have a problem with Diego with this one. Diego's very methodical with his
Oh my god.
Yeah, and this is, and,
Are Diego?
Yes.
Oh god.
He does 16 in class at Dark Wolf.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, that Diego.
that Diego, yes, so
Another
he
freaking
is,
level.
he's
Yeah.
like
Wisdom.
I'm able to hold this, right here. Can you do that one more time, so I can see? Yeah, I'm about to do this, I'm
So
gonna try it.
tell me when the problems are this happens.
So normally my, cause he had me like this, but I was more in a bridge. I was laying on top of him.
Okay.
So I
So
was
you were
in
like-
a bridge, so from right there, I'm trying to, cause he's going for my
Yeah.
neck, but he also is going for my arm.
Right.
Today was with the gi.
Right.
But I'm holding on, so he's not trying to break me. But this is where I'm having an issue.
Okay, so if I find myself here, if I feel like I can get over here, great, but he's probably not gonna let me, the first thing to look for to take away his choke is to keep going up really high.
And that's what I was doing today.
Perfect, yep, because now he doesn't have as good of leverage. It does get a little spooky with the gi though, because he can start to do some fancy stuff with the gi. This is a better no gi defense. But still going higher like this, and now it may keep his angle crappy. And now I need to swivel my head over his head. Once I can do that, I'm feeling a lot better now. So I'm gonna go up, up, up to take away the submission threat. Head pummel. Now that I've head pummeled, I go back to what I like to do. That being said, Diego's a beast. Good luck.
Diego will also slip
I've
his
never
hand
passed
behind
his guard
feet.
ever.
But he's also the perfect person to work this on because he's so good at it. So he'll show you all the weak points. All day. Oh my god. I got so mad once. I just sat down because I was like, no.
But he'll take your back.
But under me was this giant.
Yes.
Oh, I was like, no.
Well, that's what we were working on this morning. But what
Yeah,
you
he's
call it?
so
Bolo
freaking
bolo?
good, man.
Baron Bolo.
Oh, of
Baron,
course.
that's what
I call
we
it a
were
bull
doing
and
this morning.
A hole in barrel.
Baron
Bull
bolo.
and barrel.
He is so frustrating, but he is the best person to work with on this kind of stuff because if there's any issues with things.
They were working
So
something.
try it.
He has to be on steroids. He has to be. Like,
No, he's
somehow.
just a wizard. Why you gotta throw in accusations?
He's super strong.
Means allegedly to the camera.
So
How's I can
they were
handle
doing
it?
a
How's I can take off?
But I've seen
But
them
if
go
Diego-
at it, and they are.
Yeah, he's so
Hey.
different.
Have you seen that back? That back is a torture.
He laughed.
Because he
He
comes
laughed at
in
me one
like-
time because I just kind of gave up at one point and just sat because I couldn't pass and I just got mad and I just sat down and he was like, and I was like, what? What do I do? It's like I give up.
Him and Hans were doing a drill where you can't use your hands, and I watched him sweep and go to Hans's back using just his legs.
There's so much fun to watch.
It wasn't fun. I got up and left because like my jiu-jitsu game's terrible.
Okay, let's practice. Sorry, we need
Alright,
to
sorry.
compliment Diego. Someone he's like, why do I feel so good?
You're just like,
Yeah.
it's so
I've
funny.
never passed his guard and I don't think I've ever been able
Well,
to.
I had mentioned, I was like, hey, you wanna work for leg locking? He goes, do you wanna work with me, Rika? I'm like, I've never seen you roll.
This one's
And he says that.
Oh, that's right.
Over under, yeah. So you have your seatbelt because this is like the worst case scenario.
That's what I do most. I'm so interested in getting that turnover that I forget that.
And which way safe? Yes. Now start blocking the knee with this hand down so she can't follow. Come all the way out and then bridge up onto her. Yes. Don't shoot yourself past her though. You're too small for that. Yeah, I want you to think about centering your weight right on her chest. So like this part of you should be right on her shoulder. Because then all of your weight is centered here. So even when you're light, that's still a lot of weight.
I'll never give you Kessa. How dare you?
when you come out, try to block the knee, just get in the habit of doing that so that he doesn't mount.
Okay.
Yeah. Exactly, it's what you should do. Yeah, yeah. No, totally. Both are good. It just kind of depends on what you're going for. I tend to feel stronger here when I choose both, but I do like this. Yeah, because it opens up the choke if they strip the grip. Yeah, so I have a bad habit of burning out because I'll grip too hard, and for whatever reason, this I can just. I think because I'm putting my fingers on the fingernail, so I can hold it longer. But both are so good.
2 classes will make you tired.
I think also I'm just so used to moving.
Yeah, I go up with Mike.
Mike's bigger too.
But I had him,
Yeah, because I think they're winning when they strip that grip.
Did you?
It's still on.
He always catches my arm. I don't know where I leave my arm that he finds it, but he always does. Damn it. So are you interested in breaking the grip when you're doing this?
I mean, if it happens, absolutely. It's not a necessity. But if I can, I will, because less grip for him is always good.
Right.
But I'm not actively like, let me break the grip. Because I don't really care if he keeps it out. And odds are good, it just won't work. So.
Yeah. I was just kind of curious of how important it was on the scale of things, because
The importance for me is I'm pinning the arm to my chest so that they can't submit. I don't care about the grip as long as I'm safe.
I don't like the way it is.
what's the matter?
He's kind of, he's trying to juice himself. He's grab it back on the road. He has this swing.
Oh,
What's that corner?
red card.
No!
I have another set of red
That was a weird sentence.
It's only bad if you make it bad.
I have another set of red cards.
No. I want to make it rain. No.
I'm gonna put a little like shock collar on you.
No, we're not.
No.
I'm not
No
gonna
shock.
have any power.
And then he learns.
No, it won't. I've never learned.
Beautiful.
Here we go.
For me, I like this position because I'll just let him carry my weight for a minute.
I said this all the way. You were so excited. You're like, yes. Oh no, you did for you. Yeah.
That's why I pay attention. You pay attention.
There you go, you're getting out of it.
You have that shoulder right above you.
No.
Come back this way.
And this is what I have to deal with Diego.
That was great. It's been on forever. Come up. Better to be up and down. There you go.
Power bomb! Power bomb!
When you there's like one little moment where so he had you like he still had this leg and he dragged you back, right? So if he's got this leg from you, dump your weight here, hang out here, because you can use this to mess with his legs and you can be real heavy and annoying with it. And especially if your knee is free, it puts you in a position where if you want, you can start coming up and cutting it.
This is the, how do you call it? Bambolo? There's the bambolo right there.
Yeah. So whenever anybody pinches my foot like that, I'm like, if I can pop my knee out, I can do some stuff.
Just stand up. It's when you give me a pass.
Stop watching
Go ahead. Do what you gotta do.
We're watching Strong Girl.
No leg
Soon.
reach. You got two here.
Every once in a while, they do something that like super.
Okay, they go back.
What that means. Yeah, everyone does. Let go of the knee.
Super informal Korean.
There you go.
What's up, dude? They're like, why are you so offensive? I'm like, what?
Do it again. So we got something to do next time? No, I'll take it back. And do it again.
I give it my back so much that I'm okay with all of this.
Go for it.
Just go in the turtle any way I can.
Alright friends, so that is our official time.
Informal closeout, but like stick around if you want to work more stuff. as well if you have questions. But just that way, if anybody like has to go or
He's
do
like, ah, I
anything
remember
at
6 a.m. all of a sudden.
come join me over here. You can come back and do this photo.
Charlie!
Don't worry, I'm under control.
Yeah, right.
Never.
Keep it
Oh,
running.
you come out, go.
Get in
No, I
there.
was so
Get all the friends. My short little arms.
Can you
Yay,
send
we
us that
did
so I
it.
can put it on the cartoon?
I'm a cartoon?
Yeah, put it on ChatGPT.
No.
No.
Character.
Oh,
No.
no.
No. This is awful.
No, actually, you look
How
good.
many reasons do you want? Okay, no, but it is like legitimately horrible for the environment. It uses
ChatGPT?
ChatGPT? Yeah, the
Yeah,
amount
because
of
it uses
processing power that
electricity.
it takes to do that
Alright.
stupid stuff.
For real?
Yes. It's really, really bad for the environment.
There you go.
Also, the way that it works, which just like bothers me professionally, is when it's making stuff with the AI. But like,
I'll keep my
when
secrets
you're
to
like
myself.
making art,
You
right?
should've just said, I
What
wanna
it's doing is
keep
it's
this, I wanna
scouring
keep
the
safe.
internet for actual artist work and essentially plagiarizing the work for free. So one, it's plagiarizing artists, and two, it's like destroying the planet. Like we have
So it uses like water or?
yeah, like because of the processing power it requires
Oh,
it
shit.
keeps taking out
That's Bolo. That's why, like,
I didn't know that.
I know, like, okay, it's like only like little critters like us that like live in this corner of the world. And, like,
Hey,
in terms of
but
I'm not good
No,
at it.
no, I always